the other day when I was saying, snitching should only matter to dudes that's in the street. And I'm gonna tell you guys why the streets are overrated. And then that thing about, death before dishonor, and dudes be hollering they rather die before they rat. I was in prison. I'd have been around dudes that ain't tell, that I know for a fact ain't tell, because we'd have read each other paperwork. And I knew of dudes who I knew for sure told because their name was in people paperwork. And when you get past that, outside of dudes doing illegal business with you, where your name circling, or he'll tell some, so dudes kind of stir away from doing any business with you and don't want you to see anything. But that's all it is, because it's not as if, oh, because you're not a rat, you're gonna get pedestalized and get some type of throne, No, because being in the streets, most dudes are cowards. Like I was saying, they like a pack of hyenas, and they prey on the weak. I know dudes who ain't tell, but simply because they weren't strong enough to fight, they still getting smacked around and getting their phone took, getting extorted for their drugs. I know dudes who ain't tell, and dudes were so happy when they found out this guy, that guy got turned out, that they gay now. They make sure everybody out they city know, oh, he be getting knocked out and get his stuff took. Oh, he be getting extorted. So, it's not like it's really some type of code of honor where these dudes honor that and give you, the just glory that comes with, that death before dishonor. No. If them dudes see that you weak, it don't matter if you told or not when you in them jails and when you in them prisons. If they could bend you over, if they can get you on your knees, that's what they gonna do. It don't matter if you a rat or not. If they could slap you and take your stuff, that's what they gonna do. It don't matter if you a rat or not. That's why I say all that street stuff is overrated. The best thing a person can do is find a man, find you a good woman, build y'all a strong foundation, and have a healthy, wholesome family and live your life. Because like I said, the streets ain't loyal to nobody. Because when you really look at it essentially, being in the streets are just a bunch of guys looking for an easy way out, trying to leech off society and think they could beat the system. But I promise you, like I'm telling y'all the God and the truth, whether you're a rat or not, when you hit prison, you're going to have to be a bunch of more things to be able to make it out of there with your manhood and your sanity intact. So it go way farther when you talk about who a rat and who ain't a rat. That's why I tell dudes, just stay out of trouble. Live a normal life. You can't glorify the streets without glorifying being deadbeat daddies, career criminals, convicted felons and it's harder to find employment. You can't glorify the streets without, to some extent, glorifying bisexuality or homosexuality, because all that do is lead to prison, and it predominantly goes on in prison. You can't glorify the streets without glorifying premature deaths and utter nothingness. I said utter nothingness, because that's what you're going to get eventually if you do live through all of it. You'll be one of those winos at the gas station, or one of those, crackheads or winos on the corner in a neighborhood that everybody knew you grew up in, with some old folklore stories. Some good old stories that sound like myths of what you could have been, what you used to be, and all that stuff. That's the best you get. And a lot of dudes like to sit around and talk about, well, I know a dude that did this and did that in the streets, ain't never been locked up. This how you kill that. The exception does not make the rule. This how you kill that. Name 5. Name 5 big time drug dealers sold drugs for 20 years and never got busted. Name 5 dudes who robbed Armor, Brink trucks and banks and all that and never went federal. Name 5 scammers to scam for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of millions and never got popped eventually. Name 5, not one. Yeah, the streets ain't nothing but death in jail. And a lot of these dudes, they be trying to gas y'all up not to be rats. They be trying to beat in your head to live up to standards that they can't live up to. Because the dude that told on me, that's all he to talk about. Yeah. Don't tell. You should want to die before you tell on Crip. He was the first and only one that told. Even was putting robbers on me, I ain't did. These folks hit me with robbers. I'm like, what? I don't know nothing about this. What the? Whoa. They had me down bad, so bad, man, I couldn't do nothing but sit in the detective division, say I ain't did nothing, and cry like a baby. When they left out that room, I was crying, ooh. I said, Lord have mercy. They hit me with stuff I did and stuff I didn't do and trying to make it stick. I sat in the county jail 2.5 years fighting these cases to the point I had to go on cop out, go to trial and get life or life without, or go on lay down to some robbers I did and a bunch of robbers I didn't do, and go on get the deal, go on get the 15-year sentence, and just pray to God I can make it out of prison alive. But that's all the streets is, man. It's a bunch of leeches. It's a bunch of parasites trying to feast off each other. And then, like I said, when I be saying they're a pack of hyenas, because this is what goes on. They look for weaker people in society to prey on, to gain some type of leverage on. And when you get in prison, it's the same thing. It's a whole new food chain, a whole new hierarchy. And I promise you, being a rat or not being a rat only gonna get you so far, because the dude that told on me, dudes used to worship this dude just because he knew how to fight, and dude was bumping. I was known for beating folks up. You ask anybody that know Debo, that what I was known for, beating folks up. And I couldn't say I whooped this dude, the dude that ratted on me. Man, that man was known for whooping 3-4 people by himself. And guess what? They ain't mess with him. Half of the Crip gang knew he was telling. Guess what? They still gave him high rank just because he knew how to fight, and he will fight anybody. You tell me what's the honor in that? Where's the honor? Man, I'd have been around, I'm telling you, they be cowards. I remember they laid down a law that if any Crip get caught doing some gay stuff, they got to get violated. Well, it was a Crip that was known for beating folks up. They killed the whole edict. Cause dude said he gonna keep doing whatever gay stuff he wanted to do. Get what? They killed the whole edict. That was one of the things that made me back away from that gang activity. They pick and choose who they violate. The standard does not apply to everybody. So what is the standard? Most street dudes be cowards. So stop getting gassed up on that who a real street dude and who ain't one. The Bible tell you what real is. Being a righteous man, it's so hard to do the right thing on a day-to-day basis. Ooh, it's so hard to do the right thing on a day-to-day basis. That's what make you real. That's why the Bible overemphasize a righteous, upright man, because it's hard to be righteous and upright. That's where you get your stripes at. Having a good name, having integrity, sublime integrity. Well, can't nobody say nothing bad about you. And even if they do, you can lay down at night knowing it can't be substantiated because it ain't true. That's what's being real. Yeah, a righteous man. All that other stuff overrated and fake. And it's misery that love company. It's misery, love, and company. They need to find something that they could use to discredit you because it make them feel better about themselves. Most street dudes are fake. And when you round them haters, that's all they trying to focus on. They looking for a flaw that could put you where they can categorize you as one of them. So stay out the streets. You want to be real, be a righteous man. Live upright, live with integrity, real honor, dignity. Don't do nothing that's indignifying. And like I said again, I gotta restate that again. Being a righteous man is the realest thing you can do. Where you know you upright. And if anybody could say anything that goes against that, it can't be substantiated because it ain't true. That's what's being real.